guys, and welcome back to Daniel Does DFW Theater. Hooty hoot. Hang on to your teacups. Hey, welcome back. I'm so excited for episode 2. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. Mom, thank you for watching it 1,000 times. The views have really gone up. Watching it overnight, whatever you're doing, I appreciate it. But to everyone else, watch it. It's there. Danny was amazing. So just go back. But do you know who I have today that's kind of even more amazing? Sorry, Danny. Today I have Sinclair Freeman!
Hello.
Yay! Welcome to the show, Sinclair.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. I was nervous asking you because we have never really, we've met.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that term lightly.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I think our friends are just really rude and expect everyone to know everyone. And I was like, I get that DFW is small, but, I still don't know that person. Mm-hmm. But I was nervous. I slid into your DMs. Sinclair is difficult to get a hold of, y'all.
Oh, sorry, God. So sorry.
When I tell you, I messaged this man probably about 50 times. I thought I was being a stalker for a minute. Because I was like, are you there? Can we record? Can we do this? So I'm glad that I reached out to some friends and was like, I just need his number because we're going to do this no matter what.
Yes.
But yeah, we've met a couple times. My favorite moment, and when I knew, I was like, I love this person, was, and it may mean nothing to you at all, was when we went to go see Barbie.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Absolutely.
We went to go see Barbie for Danny's birthday,
Yes.
actually. Wow. Yeah, call it back to me.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah. And that movie really isn't even an emotional or anything, but there were moments where you and I were laughing together.
Yes.
And I was like,
we're in this together.
Yeah, I like this
we're
person.
giggling.
And then at the end, I'm over here like this, crying, and I looked over and you're like, I was like, okay, thank God, I'm not the only one. And there was a moment I was like,
yeah, I was like, okay.
I don't know you. So I was just glad
No,
that...
I'm with you there.
Yeah, okay, good.
Yes,
yeah,
I felt that.
I knew that in that moment I was like, I can be friends with this person.
Yes.
And I love this person.
Yes.
Again, Barbie is not a emotional film, but it still got me in the end.
It did.
There was just something about yes, women power for everyone.
Exactly.
That I was all about. But no, you have done a lot of things though here in the area. Mm-hmm. Specifically, I would say straight plays.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I've only seen you in 2 shows. The first time I actually saw you on stage was, you're like...
I was like, I don't know this.
You were doing that burlesque.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You had that feather boa.
Back in the day.
Yeah. Don't get me started. So, you were in Elf.
Oh, yeah.
At Firehouse? Mm-hmm. Yeah, where it was COVID time.
It was COVID time.
And so you had to do the outdoor... cold, freeze your ass off.
It was so cold.
I remember, I was like, those elves have got to be shivering.
Yes, because they're on the tiny.
You at least had a suit on.
I did, yeah. I got to be Walter, so I got the business fit.
Because you were playing the father.
Yes.
And that Walter Hobbs.
Yes.
Is that the character's
Walter
name?
Hobbs.
Which I remember you opened your mouth for the first, and so my mom has a thing for it, and so I've developed it for raspy voices.
Oh yeah.
My mom likes older, raspy voiced people. Even a Carole King sometimes has that
Ooh,
little
yeah,
rasp
she does.
to it, right?
Yeah.
That just fits perfect. And you open your mouth, and I was with Stephen D. Morris, the producer of Theater Arlington, and I went, and because I think auditions were coming up for Sister Act or something, and so he was like, I am looking for Curtis, at some point, and so auditions were coming up, and I was like, I think you may have, which I don't think you were able to do it after all. But I was like, I love this person's voice so much. And then the only other thing I saw, I didn't even see you in it. Did I? I did come see Spelling Bee.
I was like, you saw Spelling Bee.
I did see Spelling Bee, which you were phenomenal. I was a little upset. That was my dream role.
I can't wait to watch you do it whenever it happens next. It's all you.
Yeah, because I can play Ghetto out from prison. You could barely play.
I was like, okay, here we go.
There was a moment I was like, you are acting. You really acting.
I was like, I don't know about prison.
You really have to be, it's like a rough character.
Yeah.
Which, that's probably why I wasn't cast.
Yeah.
That's
the tattoos of the flowers.
They were like,
Thug!
that's all it is. T-H-U-G.
He's got it.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I saw you in that. Loved the I Love You song. Is just
Oh, I had so much fun singing that.
a beautiful song. And you got to do it with Brett.
And Donovan.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So
Powerhouses.
Yes. Literally, all of y'all were fighting for your life.
I felt lucky that I got to sing with them. It was so fun.
Yeah, so good. Loved that. Speaking of recent projects, I know you recently were just booked at DTC.
Yeah.
Was that your first DTC?
Yes, it was. Thank
really
you.
Nice. What role did you play? Were you swing? For
Yes,
them?
yes. So I was one of the male understudies. So I understudied for Bob Cratchit and then Mr. Fezziwig. So that was a lot of fun. I got to hang out with Yvonne and Randy Perlman, and they were both lovely to work with and understudy. So it was really fun.
I really feel like you could do a whole case study on Randy Perlman.
Absolutely.
And everything that he has to offer.
He's a delight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, for sure. So very lucky with that. I must say, I'm jealous of you because I had a crush when I was a kid on Sally Vaughn.
You did?
I did. I'm not kidding you. I remember watching Wishbone.
Oh my god!
And in the Odyssey episode.
I was a Wishbone girly. Let's go.
In the Odyssey episode, she played the wife, right?
Yes.
And so when he comes back and they have the shooting arrow contest and stuff, and Wishbone has a little pause and
Yes! Oh my god!
That was so crazy. But I thought she was it still is,
yes,
the most beautiful person
yes,
in Wishbone.
Absolutely.
And so I'm just so much so I became a little creepy. I saw her at a lyric show and I was like, yeah. Sally, I promise I'm not stalking you. I'm not coming for you.
She's so
I love you.
incredible.
Yeah.
It was it felt like a master class to get to watch her in rehearsal, honestly.
Yeah. Well, they froze the cast, right? So last year she played Marley. Did she play Marley again?
Yes.
Oh, she was so... I didn't get to see it this year, unfortunately. But I did see it last year.
Okay.
And
yes.
just so... I mean, the whole cast, honestly.
Yes, it's pretty stacked.
So, yeah so great. And then, do you have anything coming up? What do you have in the works?
I mean, for the first time in my life, I'm, actually pursuing projects. I would say before, I would just be I know I specifically fit this, or I know someone in it, so just text me if you want me to come. Oh. That makes me sound like I'm...
Okay, Timothy Chalamet.
No! Oh my god, no. No.
I won't audition, just text me.
No, oh my god, okay. So, no. I didn't mean it like that. I meant that I was mostly busy. I was a caretaker for my mom, so my schedule was pretty packed. Mm-hmm. But now I have a lot more time on my hands, and my upcoming projects are auditions, basically.
Nice.
Yeah, in the streets.
I mean, whatever it is, there's tons of things coming up too
yes,
that I can already see you fit for that I think would be lovely. Tell me about maybe one of your favorite projects that you've done.
Ooh, one of my favorite.
One of your favorite shows.
Yeah, so this was maybe one of my... After returning back to theater, after taking a 5-year break, I did a play which was a co-production between Flexible Gray Theater and Uptown Players called Cooties. And it was for Pride Month. So they had a festival, and so there was a one-man show and then our show that we alternated with. And that was my first time being in a show with a completely queer cast, queer director. It was just the best. And the show was just about college students living their lives, and queerness was a part of the story, but not the main part. And it felt really special to be able to tell that story from such a place of authenticity. And I got to be in the show with my wife, so that was cool. We weren't married then, but it was
congratulations!
Thanks.
You what has it been a couple months now?
Yeah, I got married in October. Oh my god! Yeah, my husband. I was married now.
How long have y'all been together?
About 6 years.
Oh my god! Yeah. Wow, y'all were babies.
Yes.
Literal
Absolutely.
Babies.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no. Wow, but congrats. Yeah.
Thank you.
Husband material all the way.
Thank
you. Or do you do all the cooking and cleaning?
No. Oh my god. I can't cook to save my life, but I'm very handy. I'm handy. I can clean the car. I'll do the oil changes.
I'm handsy too.
That's the other thing.
Oh, you do oil changes?
I mean, I could. I don't, but I...
Oh, because I'm due.
I mean, I can take the car for you. That's what I mean by I do oil changes.
I was like, I'll bring you the pan. Like,
that's what I got.
Yeah. It was like with my dad, like, bring me the wrench, and I bring him a hammer, and he's like, you stupid!
Yeah, he's dead. R.I.P.
Yeah, no, because I didn't know anything, right?
Yeah.
But, okay, never mind. So if you can't do it, never mind. I know how to drive it to a dealership, too. I can handle that much. So you got started here. It was through, like, TCC, right? You did ragtime.
Yes.
Was it just on a whim? Was it just...
Yeah, so I went to SMU for a couple of years. I didn't graduate. I started off singing opera there.
That makes so much... So I can hear it in your voice. You were classically trained.
Yeah, yes.
It's there.
Yeah, I was like a huge choir nerd in high school, did Allstate, did all that stuff. And so after I stopped singing opera, I was like, I don't think I want to perform. Until I just randomly was like, well, they're doing ragtime. They're going to need more black people.
Well, and I'm sure you were like, Audra's done ragtime. She did opera.
Yeah.
I can do
Exactly. I was like, okay, I can do this. And so I just went and auditioned, and I ended up booking Sarah's friend. And it was
because you're Timothy Chalamet.
Because I'm Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy
Timothy Chalamet.
Timothy. That's who you are. I'm going to start calling you.
I love it.
Sinclair Timothy.
Oh my God.
Wonderful. Now, so you just did, how long ago was that?
That was in like 2013. So that was a long time ago.
Over 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Wow. And then from there, you've just kind of like skyrocketed. I feel like you've had like a come up, right? Like
It feels
you really,
like it.
Like you've started the momentum, and you really have just like put the work into it, I would say.
Yeah.
To be where you are. I mean,
Thank you.
booking DTC is something that
Yeah.
people want to do.
Yeah.
And so I think that that's special and amazing and awesome. Speaking of special, amazing, and awesome, I'm Daniel Hernandez.
Pleasure.
No, I want us to go ahead and do your first song.
Okay.
I think that I'm ready to hear you sing a little bit. And it's a song that I'm really not even familiar with. So let's get over there. Let's have you sing something that you sound good in.
All right, let's do it.
Do y'all want to hear him sing? I don't know. We'll see. Okay, well, let's go. So why'd you pick this song?
My now wife introduced this song to me many years ago.
Really? You know, I had never heard of it until today,
Okay.
which I don't know what I'm playing. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, is it like meaningful at all? Does it mean, or you just think it's really pretty?
I think it's beautiful. I'm a romantic, and I love to sing about love.
Oh, well, let's sing about love. Okay. All right.
It's been hot, also very sweet. And though I'm not usually indiscreet, but when he sparkles, the earth begins to sway. What more can I say? How can I express how confused am I by our happiness? I can't eat breakfast. I cannot tie my shoe. What more can I do? If I say I love him, you might think my words come cheap. Let's just say I'm glad he's mine, awake, asleep. It's been hot, also it's been swell, more than not. It's been more than words can tell. I halt, I stammer, I sing a rondelay. What more can I say? I'll stay home. was taught, never brag or shout, but still it's hot, just like how you read about, and all so caring, and never too uncouth. That's the simple truth. We laugh, we fumble, we take it day by day. What more can I say? I'm gonna say wow. That was such a beautiful song. Thank you. Yeah. No, again, I felt the fevers. Again. Yeah, honestly. Like, guys, that walk over here, just everything. Steaming. Speaking of steaming. Let's talk about your arch nemesis, that steaming pile of poopers. I was like, if you had, tell it to me real.
Okay.
If you had an imaginary arch nemesis, right? One person who is constantly beating you to the punch, constantly stealing your roles. I mean, your roles.
Yeah.
Constantly, just one-upping you in that audition room, right? That steaming pile of poop, whoever it is. I was like, can I say that on the podcast? I can say it.
Yeah.
Who is your main competitor, imaginary arch nemesis in the DFW area?
Oh, man. In the DFW area.
Oh, no. Do you know what? Open it up. Yeah.
Michael B. Jordan is my arch nemesis. He is taking my roles. I should have been Creed. Even though I've never attempted to act in film, it should have been me.
Do you know what?
That's what I think.
I would have watched that. I would have.
I don't know about the DFW area as far as my arch nemesis goes. I don't know. I'm not very competitive. So.
Is it Tara Park?
Yes. Tara, stop booking my roles.
Can you imagine her as a comfort counselor?
She probably could do it. She could probably do it.
She would do it too. That's the thing.
You could do it too.
That's the thing.
It would sound amazing. That's the tea, though. It would sound good.
There's like a standing ovation every night.
Wonderful.
Bring her back. I want her to do it again.
Listen. Okay, let's try it. Let's shake it up.
So, speaking of your voice, there's something that I do want to talk about.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about you navigating your voice, right, through your transition at the same time.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's something that I've worked with someone, right, who also transitioned, and just that navigation of the voice and finding it, because when you're on hormones and everything, like, you don't know where it's going to sit or where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And so how did you find, because you've settled so well in your voice and it really fits you. So how did you really work on that?
It was just time, honestly. For me, as soon as I started taking hormones, the change happened really quickly. Oh. I would say within the first 3 months, like, throughout my transition, I basically stayed employed through, like, a church job. I sang in a Methodist church. I was a section leader. And so I was a soprano, too. And so
the next week.
Like, it was maybe a month later, and I had to go to the director, and I was like, I need to move down.
Oh, wow.
And it was fine. And so I was very fortunate. It was, like, a very open and affirming church.
I was going to say, Methodists are typically very... I have done many gigs at a Methodist church. They're like, bring on the queers.
Yes. So they were the good ones, and I just was able to slide on down. And so basically just... like, not pushing it too hard, just taking it very easy, just singing, like, church music, we're not doing anything too hard. It's hymns, it's offertories, it's stuff that feels like that would be good for a young voice, so that was good for my voice.
Well,
in
hims
that.
or hers, however they identify.
Or thems, baby.
I'm gonna start calling hims them.
All right, that's like yes.
Open up to them number.
Baby, find me in the pew this Sunday.
Because I still have a church gig, but it's at a Catholic church, and sometimes I have to announce the song numbers. So catch me at Holy Trinity Catholic Church saying, our next them will be number 749 in the Breaking Bread booklet.
I can't wait.
They're gonna think that I had a stroke up there or something. Did you
No,
say limbs?
no. Just tell me when you're gonna do it. I'll be there.
Can you imagine? Everyone? Because I know there's some queers in that. I was gonna say audience.
Who would?
No, it's not a performance, Lord. I promise.
Sorry.
So that seems like it was an easy navigation for you.
Yeah.
How was navigating other things through the transition? So like family, friends, acting community.
Yeah, family eventually came around, and I'm like so grateful for that, because it is hard for people who have grown up. My mom grew up Catholic, so like to have a like gay kid and then to have a trans kid is like a lot to deal with. And although she made many mistakes in that journey, in the end she was very supportive and a force for good in my life, I would say. As far as theater goes, I just kind of didn't do anything for about 5 years, just because I didn't know what my voice was going to sound like, and I didn't have, I just needed it to settle, and I was not really confident in my abilities. Like, I studied opera at SMU, but that's the extent of my training, really. So I just wasn't really ready to put myself out there until later. Yeah. And I don't think that that's necessarily like the best choice if like trans people are watching this. I don't think you need to hide yourself while you're transitioning. Like, there are plenty of roles I could have played throughout that process.
Mm-hmm. But this was your path.
But
it's
this
your
was
journey.
my path. That's true.
Yeah, it's
That's
your
true.
journey. So whatever
That's
works
true.
for you.
Yeah, it did
Right?
work for me. Yeah.
And if you needed that step back to really find yourself, to be able to come back even stronger, then that's what it is, right? Some people work through that and are able to do it as they're doing it.
Yes.
I'm very much so I'm just gonna and figure it out on my own.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Exactly it.
So would you say that it has hindered any of your bookings or work?
Yeah. No, and I would say that this is coming from a place of like privilege within the trans community. Like, most people don't know that I'm a trans guy unless I tell them. I mean, my Instagram used to be trans and trifling, so they would like know if they went to that. But I was like, I guess I'll be professional and call myself Sinclair the Freeman.
I'm gonna make us match t-shirts where yours says trans and mine says trifling. We can
Listen, all
trans.
day. Yeah, so like I don't hide it. If you go to my social media, like I talk about it. It's not anything I'm like closeted about. But it's also like when I'm coming to work on a show, I'm not like, hello, I'm Sinclair the transgender man. Like, that don't have shit to do with what I'm about to do for you.
Where do the trans sit?
Yes, where's the trans section? Thank you. Like, no, so it just
and there's no need to present that, right, in that form.
Right, like it doesn't matter. So I've been very fortunate that like my voice has settled, and like for people that are transitioning to like the more masculine end of the spectrum, or take testosterone, I'll just speak that way. Mm-hmm. Like your voice getting deeper is much easier to handle, like vocally. Like if a person was born as a guy and starts taking estrogen, your vocal cords can't become less thick. Your voice is not going to go higher. It can't without vocal training and extensive work to make it do that. And I don't think they should have to do that. I think there are plenty of trans women that are singers, like Sis, that can sing beautifully in their natural range, and it doesn't detract from the story in any way whatsoever to hear something lower. That's crazy to me.
And people, like, there was an uproar about that whole production, first off.
Yes.
Which, I mean,
okay, fine. Yeah, I get that.
Some of it was a little weird, and maybe I didn't understand some of it.
Yeah.
but it was very artsy for me.
Yeah.
But there's one thing that you couldn't attack, and it was a person playing a part.
Right.
You know?
Yes.
That they are fine playing.
Yes.
Because, you know, and I think sometimes we have that problem even in the DFW area.
Mm-hmm.
You know, about putting the right person in the right spot, whether it be age, gender, diversity, whatever it may be.
Yes.
Right? I think that, but in a wider set, we still have issues with that.
Absolutely.
But, and then not to say you're at an advantage. I mean, those were your words, right? That you sometimes
I am.
but I feel bad for some of our other DFW community actors, right? That who don't get booked or who don't have the opportunities that, you know, you sometimes get because they may not present.
Exactly. It's all about that. Like some people don't have the option of disclosing whether they're trans or not because as soon as you walk into the room, they know.
Yeah.
And it makes me furious that theaters say that they want to cast diverse shows and they're open to casting people of all genders and then they don't do it.
Yeah, I saw something on Facebook the other day that Dom shared.
Yes.
That we need to be more aware of it because have you noticed that theaters have even started removing that little tagline or, you know, the disclaimer of we are open to people of diverse genders, backgrounds, whatever, races. It's no longer on auditions.
Yeah.
So why theaters? Why have we removed that? You know, that should still be, and it was not just we're doing it for a year because we need to make everybody happy because of something that happened.
It's trendy.
Yeah, exactly. It needs to be. We're continuing with this because these are our values. This is what we, you know, stand for.
And it tells a better story. You can't tell me that if you're casting from the most diverse pool that you're not going to tell the best possible story. Exactly. You're robbing yourself and audiences by limiting yourself to the same groups of people over and over again.
Yeah, I'm sick of they didn't audition. They weren't as talented. I'm sick of those excuses, right? It needs to be were they really not as talented or were you did you have your horse blinders on, right? And you just saw that specifically in that one person that you wanted to see. But this person may have another skill that really, you know, works for them. So, I mean, I'm just here to say, we're sick of it.
We're sick of it.
So, and I'm canceled. Oh, yep, there. But... Yeah, you too, for sure. Well, I'm glad to hear that, you know, you were able to settle in your way. And I would definitely say when I came to Theater Arlington, which is mostly a conservative group of people that come to shows at Theater Arlington, I don't think any of them would have ever thought that they were cheering on, hugging a trans person of color. You know?
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah. I like to tell people afterwards, too. Because, like, I honestly have changed a lot of people's minds by that. Because, like, I'm just a guy. Like,
exactly.
I like to giggle. I like wine. I like to hang out with my friends. Like, I like to sing. And so you've met me now, and you've encountered that I'm, like, a normal person, not the boogeyman that everyone's been telling you. So what do you do with that now?
Yeah. And here's what I have to say about this. I hope at one point all of this just fades away.
Yes.
It all fades away. Which brings us to your next song.
Yeah.
So we're going to head over to the piano and hear a little bit more of Sinclair singing. So this is your go-to audition, right? Or one of them.
One of them,
yeah. Anything that you've auditioned with that you've booked because of this? Or not? You're like, it's a horrible cut, actually.
Actually, no.
Maybe you know what, later on. Yeah, you know I vocal coach, so if you would up. But I think this song is great, right?
It's fun.
You'll know once you hear it. He's not going to do the no, not today. But everything else he's got, right? Let's try it out. Let's see what happens.
I was sliding down a mountain. I was burning in the sun. I was crying with amazement at the view. I was capturing a moment when all was said and done, well, it all fades away. But it all fades away. It all fades away. It all fades away. But I have sailed across the oceans, past the seas and the farms, on a never-ending quest for something new. And the only thing that mattered were the 4 days in your arms, 'cause it all fades away. But it all fades away. It all fades away. It all fades away. But you better book him.
So when I started this, I was like, no Sondheim, no Jason Robert Brown, because I don't play piano. Vonda, I don't play. I don't play piano, so don't call me out, please, ma'am. But I was willing to do a Jason Robert Brown for you today.
Thank you.
Because I do love that song, and I've played it enough because I sing it as well, right? But Vonda, don't call me out. Don't do it, girl. Because I know she said something like, "Don't list that you can't do those."
She did say that.
Yeah, she's like, hire a real accompanist then. I was like, she ain't wrong. Well, I ain't got the budget to hire a real accompanist, Vonda. You want to come for free?
She ain't coming.
Nope, she ain't gonna do it. No, wonderful. Speaking of, like I had a lot of mishaps on the piano, let's talk about some mishaps maybe that you've had. I know that, you may not have spelled something correctly one time. What happened there?
I did.
What happened there? Yeah, at this good old show.
I'm coming clean.
Okay, Hillary Duff.
Yeah, okay. During spelling bee, during my big monologue, where Garrett is frozen in space and it's just the spotlight on me, I'm staring into Garrett's beautiful blue eyes, monologuing, and I completely forget what I'm supposed to talk about. There's not a thought in my brain at all. But I have to get out of this. I know the monologue's about good and evil, kind of, and I did used to work as a pastor a while ago, so I go into a mini sermon about it, and then I know the last line, and then just cut it off, and we get out of it. Okay, it's fine. I was like, whew, made it. All right. Nobody knew except for Garrett and everyone else in the cast, but it's fine. And then I'm talking to Valerie Swinson after the show, and she said, I loved your little sermon today about good and evil. It was really good tonight, because she saw the show every night.
I was going to say,
She saw it every night. She knew.
Every night for
She
her
called
son.
me out. Come on, Val. Come on.
Why do I just imagine her at some point?
Amen. Yeah, well, she was with it. She was like, it was good. I said, thank you. I don't know. My brain, it broke. I don't know what happened.
I feel like I would have blacked out, and 20 minutes later, I'm still talking.
I was just like, nothing. Not a thought in my brain.
I'm surprised that, because I know Garrett.
Yes.
I know he's a professional actor.
He sure is.
But I'm surprised he didn't break out and laugh or anything. Because
No, he was a trooper.
Yeah.
He was just staring at my eyes. He was like, come on.
Well, he was probably like
Yes.
feeling it with you at the same time. Oh my God. Yeah, no, I'm horrible at lines. I am horrible.
Sometimes.
Like, I need the book for at least a good 6 months.
Not 6 months.
Because if you want me to memorize it, anytime I audition, like even audition songs, I cannot, there's no space in here. I don't know if it's all the alcohol. I
call myself God's favorite goldfish.
I mean, I'm God's favorite whale. Not have to laugh like that.
You did that.
Yeah, I did. You're fine. Beluga. Call me Beluga from here on out. No, for the life of me, cannot remember. Just because, there's nothing there. I can't explain it. Oh, I thought you were saying goldfish because of the wine. You were saying because of short memory.
Yes.
I'm with you now.
Yeah, now you're with me?
I'm a dummy.
Oh, that's okay.
So I called myself a whale for no reason.
You did? Yeah, I was like, well, okay. But that's all right.
I think that, has there ever been a show or anything that you've seen that was just like, oh, am I really, like, I've had moments before where I'm like, I'm sitting here watching a show about, who was it? It was like a brand new, like, show where they're like doing someone's life, and I was like, am I really watching this right now? Am I really watching this show that's about someone's life? Or like a show where you've like taken yourself out of the moment and you're like, oh.
This was years ago, man, probably 8 or so years ago. Some random group of students were like, we're putting on a play in a warehouse off Riverfront Boulevard in Dallas. And
you went?
I did. And it was like immersive, but it was just bad. It was just bad. There was like, they tried to talk about like heavy hitting issues without any of the gravitas, and it ended up just being funny. And I don't really want to giggle at like debating birth control. That's not funny, but I'm laughing because you're doing a bad job. And so it felt like the SNL skit of like the high school students in the black box. I don't know.
Yes.
That whole type of vibe. It was not my favorite.
I mean, it would not be my favorite either, so I understand where you're coming from.
I hope they had a good time.
There you go. Have you ever thought about what is your regular day job? What do you do on the regular? Like, what are your passions? What do you do?
My passion
besides theater? Tell me the other side of Sinclair that really gets you.
Yeah. Before, I mean, I feel like I've lived a million lives. Most recently, I worked in advertising. I worked as a strategist. I really liked that. But I'm kind of shifting into trying to do acting more full time, and with that, doing personal training on the side. So I love working out. Like,
you look great.
Thank you. Yeah. I love working out. It's really fun. I like moving and helping people move if they want to. Get strong if you want to. Whatever. So that's coming soon. I'm working on that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're gonna do like a whole thing for it.
Yes.
Put it out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're like the champ for all the actors in the area. Everyone's going to you for.
I hope so. Come on,
fitness.
Let's do it.
Yeah. No, that'd be great. I think that like I said, I feel like you've bulked up even more since the last time I've seen you. So. Yeah. Nice. As far as other passions, would you say that you have a dream show that you've always wanted to do, whether you're, on stage, off stage, or some way or another? Dream show. Let's start with that.
Yeah, I have a couple. For like straight stage stuff, I would love to be Othello one day. That sounds like so fun.
Would you want to do the PBS version where they're doing the new? Have you seen those? Where it's the modern
yes.
But they still use the old language.
Yes. I love that.
Danielle Brooks.
Yo!
Speaking of Danielle Brooks,
a revelation.
Did you see The Color Purple?
Yes!
Can I tell you, I sobbed. So I think I made it 20 minutes into the movie and then just cried
the whole time
through the rest of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was wailing when Nettie came back.
Yes, absolutely.
My family was like, "Are you okay?" And I was like,
"No,
she's back.
She's alive."
But Danielle Brooks killed it. I didn't expect it, honestly. I didn't really. If she doesn't win something,
she has to.
And don't get me wrong, Fantasia, amazing.
Yes, everybody,
amazing, but Danielle,
the acting,
yes, which I already knew because her in that. What is it that she did?
As you like it.
Yeah, I think that's what she did. Phenomenal, delivery. Everything was just
command.
She knew what she was doing in every single thing.
Yeah.
I'd love to see Shakespeare in the Park or something. Try to do one of those. Take a modern take on something. I think that's just so different. I mean, even they're because they had an outdoor picnic and there's a barbecue and everything.
Yes, I loved that.
The way
scene.
that they were just fully invested into really making it modern, but using the old language.
Yes,
I think you would also do great at a regular production as well.
Sure, It would
But
be
like,
more fun for me, at least, to do the modernized version. And I love, like, seeing costumers get to shine in that way, too.
Yeah.
Like, period pieces are super fun, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, so fun. But I thought the costuming in As You Like It was just, like, so vibrant and, like, really brought it to the modern era, too. So that was cool.
no, I agree with that completely. No, Othello would be great. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how many times I've watched Sir Ian McKellen or, any of his older stuff. Oh,
Yeah, I get chills thinking about it.
I was just watching one the other. I can't remember if it was Othello or what it was, but he's like in a room full of mirrors and just
Ooh.
like has this huge monologue and just everything. His delivery is just phenomenal as well. And I think you have that power behind your voice where it's just like you really. That's why I thought for a minute maybe you would even do education. I was like, you have this command about you.
I did do that as well.
Did-
I've done that. Yeah, I worked in preschool education for 5 years and special ed for 1.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I like that. Okay, so Othello, are there any other shows or any other characters that you really see yourself or want to put out into the DFW area for you to...
Yeah, I mean, if anyone wants to do ragtime again, I'd love to do that. I'd love to do Cole House.
I think that ragtime on a smaller scale would also do really well.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, Lyric. I love their large productions. I love it, and now that they've moved to the Moody, I think that it'll fit them.
Ooh, yeah.
But I'd love to see a smaller, just a tighter production of it here in the area.
I agree. I think people get scared, but I think you're right. I think that could work so well.
Yeah, well, and it's just so, that show in itself is just phenomenal. It's written beautifully.
Yes.
The way that it interweaves historical events into it. Speaking of, so I had never seen the show before.
Okay.
But I listened to a lot of Broadway songs, right? And so in college, I love Make Them Hear You. That song is just like, it hits me in my heartstrings. And it just hits all the right places. And so I remember going to my voice teacher and being like, I think for my senior recital, I'm going to sing Make Them Hear You. That was almost her exact reaction. Because stupid Daniel had not thought to read up on the synopsis of the show or anything at all. Right. Turns out it's a very, very racially charged show. In case y'all didn't know.
Yeah, ragtime is pretty racially charged.
Yeah. It kind of the basis of the whole show. So, and that song is like the penultimate moment of like, nah, right?
Yeah.
And so she was like,
No, sweetie.
we're gonna pick another song. Think I did like Purpose or something.
Great, we love Purpose.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah. Gonna find my purpose. So, but yeah, no. But speaking of that song, like I said, it's just beautiful. I think it's perfect, and it's actually one song that you're gonna perform for us today, which makes me very excited. And I can't wait to hear it.
So pumped to sing it.
I might cry.
That's okay.
You were holding me.
Yeah, I was like, I'll hold you.
Thank you. This is one of my favorite songs, and when you had this on your list, I think you had it for everything too.
Yes.
So it's obviously one of your favorite songs.
I want to sing it.
When I saw this show at Lyric, and I mean, I had already seen it during the travel, right, during the tour, and I just remember sobbing my eyes out. And I mean, Lyric, beautiful. Can't remember his name. Oh my gosh. I'll look it up in post. But amazing. Definitely a dream role for you.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? Just a beautiful piece of music. Great. Let's not make them wait any longer. Yeah.
Go out and tell our story. Let it echo far and wide. Make them hear you. Make them hear you. How justice was our battle and how justice was denied.
make them hear you, make them hear you, and say to those who blame us for the way we chose to fight, that sometimes there are battles that are more than black or white, and I could not put down my sword when justice was my right. Make them hear you, make them hear you. Go out and tell our story to your daughters and your sons. Make them hear you, make them hear you. And tell them in our struggles we were not the only ones. Make them hear you, make them hear you. Your sword can be a sermon or the power of the pen. Teach every child to raise his voice, and then, my brothers, then will justice be demanded by 10 million righteous men. Make them hear you. When they hear you, I'll be near you again.
As we just came off the most emotional song of my life. Love how that's how we came into that. Thanks a lot, Sinclair. Ruin the moment. No, I want to thank you for joining me on the show today for episode number 2. You were definitely, like I said, I talked with Danny a little bit, and I was like, hey, like, who should I have on the show? Who would really bring something that I can put out there? And your name came up on both sides, and so I'm just very appreciative that you agreed, because believe me, at first when I was sliding into your DMs, and you
Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to everyone.
So thank you for being here. Thanks for really putting it all out there and telling your story. Tell your story. See, I can sing it now, Julie.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. Guys, make sure that you catch us on all social media. I'm going to tell it right here. That way you can see me. You can get us at Daniel Does DFW, and that's on Instagram, on TikTok, here on YouTube where you're watching it currently. And then also we have a Facebook page, so make sure you follow everything, you like it all. Sinclair's already done it because I made sure of it before we started the interview. That's a requirement. So,
Yeah, I did.
Okay, that's what I thought. Or no more one. Yeah, pull out your phone now. So, thanks again. Make sure you watch this episode as many times as you can, Mom, so I can get more views again. And we'll catch you next time. Hang on to those teacups! Sinclair Stinky?
Stinker barely know her.
Stinker? I barely know her.